Okay, so now we're going to learn how to add a image, in this case a business card, into an email that is our standard, in this case for our profile, our given profile, and this is for Tom Dawson, how we would attach his business card into an email so that it comes up every time he goes to a standard email out of Salesforce. So we've been told by a customer that Tom's email uh, was actually showing the wrong state. It was showing Alaska, AK. So to confirm that, we went to Tom's email logo, and sure enough, when we picked it up, instead of saying Tulsa, OK, you'll notice that it said Tulsa, AK. Everything else correct, but that's wrong. So we had to go to, in this case, Jonas, who then created a new um, image for us, and he emailed it to Tom. Tom emailed it then to me. But this is now, as we would see, the correct logo. So the correct logo has Tulsa OK when I click on it. And what we're going to do is bring it in and save it in on our files in our desktop. So on the desktop, we're going to save this file, which is the email logo. We're going to bring it in here under our desktop, and then it'll show up at the top of our email logo email Tom. So now that we know that we've got that right, what we need to do is go into, remember where we put it, but then we're going to go in and upload that into Salesforce. But before we actually are able to upload it into Salesforce, we've got to go in and create a pixeled file that is a standard. So we've got to shrink it down to this size. When it comes in at 1200 by, the image comes in at about 1200 real scale and proportionally in the height, but it's 1200 wide pixels. So when we then bring it up, we apply this scale of 410. It automatically calculates the 160, and we apply that. Once we apply that, we save it. When it saves that file, it saves it to our, when we're done here, it'll save that file down to our downloaded files. So now when I go back to my Explorer and go to my downloads, I'll see that when I named it, I called it Tom's Signature for Salesforce Emails. And that's what I created. So I took the original file, I scaled it down to 410 by whatever that turns out to be on the other, but that's automatic. And then I save that in my downloads files. Now what I need to do is go to Salesforce and go to my files. And what I did, and I've done already, is I've loaded this Tom Signature for Salesforce emails. I've downloaded that here. So now I can see that it's correct. I'd have to look, squint, but that's got OK on it. And that's the appropriate scale then for this. When I get here, when I'm viewing it, I come anywhere into here and touch it, and I'm going to copy the image address like I do for proofs and other things. So I've copied the image address. Now, instead of going to the proofs file, I go to the settings under my profile, and one of the settings that I can change is the email. And if I go to my email settings, remember that I just copied that image address. Now what I do is I go put that image address between the two quotes. And that is actually the correct one. When I get it down, I go ahead and save it when I copy it in. And then I, just as a safety thing, I go ahead and log out and then log back in as Tom. And now when I go to the accounts, I can pick that same account that the customer said that, hey, Green actually called in and said, hey, your thing says Alaska. And now when I go to email from Tom's thing, you will notice that his image now is correctly stating Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's how you go about inserting a picture, in this case an image, or our business file, into all of the standard emails for our profiles.